Hello, hello. I'm the official name raider. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and give my recommendations at the end. Sorry, I'm looking at this. 44 and then 443. That's interesting. Anyway, we've covered this episode already down here, but 4 years ago, Legends Arceus was not even a thought. Nobody knew about it. It was a secret. The channel had just started out, so this was probably closer to 5 years. So let's find out. This was January 29th of 2020, so yes, actually 4 years ago. But still, another 2 years till Arceus gets revealed. That video will be down below in the description, unlisted, if you want to watch the original video, but now we're remaking it because Hisuian Electrode exists. We're going to see how the Google search results change over the course of 4 years. Alright, let's start with this one. So first off, we can just ignore the top half because that doesn't mean shit. And he talks about Maru Mari in reference to Metroid, and I was like, that must be an enemy I don't fucking know about. It's not. It's apparently just what the Morph Ball is referred to, which makes me feel less dumb that I didn't know that, because why would I think that? And then he's like, oh, well then Togedemaru. Personally, I think when already part of your nickname is the real name, it kind of lessens its significance a little bit. You know, if you call it B-Drill, B-Stab, suddenly it becomes a little less interesting. I mean, first off, that's a shit name. But you understand the point. It's better when the name is not entirely associated, unless it's like an actual pun, which I mean, I suppose it is, but whatever. Subjective shit. Disagree if you want to. And then it says Guru, which threw me off because I was like, that's the guy from Ocarina of Time. But that says here, but then if you scroll down, you can see the guy from Ocarina of Time. I could have swore it was Guri, so I'm going to check real quick. It's not Guri. That is a food, apparently. Hold the fuck up. Because this is Oracle of bullshit. That's really it. I mean, it's fine. I guess I just misremembered his name. I feel like Guru is something we've seen in the past before. That's not a bad... I think it was like maybe cast form or something like that. I feel like it's been brought up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this would fit on specific Pokemon that I don't quite remember. Something with Drizzle would probably be a good choice, just off the top of my head. Looking back at the end of the original episode, I mentioned that I really like Short Fuse. And I do really like Short Fuse. That is going to be in reference, I don't know if it's intentional or not. First off, Short Fuse is just an expression in Electrode, which I actually think it's really funny how they mirror each other with a Hisuian counterpart. Voltorb is usually very aggressive, as to where Electrode's got a happy smile, and now the Hisuian version, Voltorb looks super smiley, and then Electrode's got the evil grin, like the evil frown. Like, it's kind of funny how that works out. But aggression, quick temper is a very personality trait of Voltorb and Electrode, and I think that's great. Including characteristics like that is really important. It makes a Pokemon feel more alive. Short Fuse plays off of that, but also can be referenced to the supervillain from Fairly Odd Parents, which I think was actually one of my favorite things, was the Crimson Chin stuff and the villains in there. I thought those were cool. Doing the Pokeball, I don't particularly care. I get it, it's a joke, that's what it's based off of, but it's just never been a thing that I thought was I feel like that's a great name if you're 8 years old. Are you more than 8 years old? Then you should be ashamed and not use it. Left nut and right nut. Biospark is one that I have for Ninjask because it's based off the Kirby enemy that gives you the ninja ability. That's kind of why I wanted to just re-look at Biospark and be like, would that even fit? And I'm like, no, but maybe he's got some sort of ulterior motive for naming it that. He named his Deku Nut because it's a thing that you throw and explodes. Okay, that's fine, that's fair. I personally wouldn't do that, but that's an idea for you. I also kind of want to like say that Arceus irritates me for continuity reasons, which I know annoys a lot of people for that, because it's like Voltorb was based on a Pokeball which was only invented in the 90s, but they're like, well, here's the ancient ancestor of it. And I mean, they did a good job making an ancient ancestor based off, like, you know, ancient Japanese fireworks. That's fine, but still annoys me. Thunderball. Damn. Yeah, so Thunderball is actually what I use. That one was not from the assistance of Pokemon.net, but something that I came up with myself because James Bond. It is thunder, it is ball. There you go. If I have an opportunity to do and use a James Bond-based nickname, I'm going to do it. I like being able to make those connections. Bomb was one I also mentioned at the end of the original Electrode episode, and I followed it up by, although I like Bomb, you know what's better? Amp! From also the Mario series, the electric balls. That literally fits Electrode perfectly. So like if I didn't have Thunderball as my personal choice, I would use Amp instead. And this is kind of where it's like, well, hey, if you have multiple that you like, you could use it on the other version. But personally, I don't know if I want to do that because I feel like regular Electrode and Hisui Electrode, one being more organic than the other, I don't feel like it fits as much. I suppose if considering it's based off like fireworks, it should probably be a grass and fire instead, but hey, whatever, they already made the fucking thing. The Molotov cocktail is an explosive named after a Soviet politician. Well, Molotov was, because I actually don't think I mentioned it when redoing the Arcanine episode. In the original Arcanine episode, I'm like, oh yeah, Molotov, because it was just something that came to me, because Zippo is only good on Charmander. And like, I forgot I even did that because point blank, I like the idea of Molotov, but I also feel like it's just not that strong of a nickname. I also think it'd probably be better on a fire type considering it has fire involved. This one's not particularly special, but I'll acknowledge it just because it's like, hey, you know, expression, phrase, or whatever. So oddball's a thing that could describe it. Do I think it's the best? No, but you could. You know, in the original video I made, the trailer, I set up rules that it was like, hey, it can't exist in universe in game because then it kind of sounds stupid. I named my Charmander Blaze because that's its ability. Voltorb's ability is static. Do you know how much of a fucking mentally challenged idiot that makes you? It shouldn't even be 2, it should be 30 or whatever the fuck. Cheerio? Why Cheerio? I will say though, because of fucking static as an ability, it actually gives me anxiety to make physical contact with damn near any electric type Pokemon, period. Here, you know what's a better one that you can use for your static-based Electrode? Zap Tap. That one's good. It plays off the ability's name without just naming it after the fucking ability like some sort of bicycle helmet wearing child at the fucking McDonald's playpen. It's based off the badge from Super Paper Mario, or not Super Paper Mario, it's Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door, those two games. One of my favorite badges. Azula! No, well, I guess Azula does shoot lightning, doesn't she? I still wouldn't put it on an Electrode. Shazam! Known for electricity. There you go. That was one I think we only saw like for the first time recently. We didn't feel like doing Tesla. Mix it up a little bit. It's actually kind of funny. I was busy thinking about this too. But yeah, E-Sphere was canonically the one you get in Fire Red, which if you actually catch a Pikachu from Viridian Forest, Thunderstone that bitch, then trade it in, Cinnabar Island, you can get yourself a level 3 Electrode. What does that do for you? Not a damn thing, but it's still kinda neat. Now thanks to Pokemon Go, you can get any fully evolved Pokemon at any level. Up to 50, technically. Some people like the old canon nickname, so I acknowledge that one. I gotta be honest, I'm actually kind of surprised on how popular Thunderball was, because it was on Pokemon.net at least, like, 3 times there. Pokeball, I think the thing I've seen the most is just jokes about testicles. And then I've seen a bunch, like, Kamikaze is a better one. I would personally use that for flying type, because Divine Wind in Japanese. But, like, I've seen a lot of terrorist jokes, and I chose to ignore it just because it's like, well, we already talked about it in the original video. I don't really feel the need to trudge that up again. But just know that that's another very common thing, as is things about explosions. I really like this photo. Holy shit. I don't like that one. Ah, there you go. Didn't think Denny was going to be the one to say Tesla, but we brought it back, baby. Another one for the counter. I'm going to be so excited and so afraid of how many times Tesla has been brought up on this channel. I think we've probably hit at least 100, and there's probably not even 100 electric types. This motherfucker took Thunderball too? Well, it's fine, because I know he's not smart enough to come up with it on his own. Spark Orb. I actually almost misread that as Spark Borb. Sounds like some millennial shit. Alright, well, Electron, Proton, and Neutron, I've seen a bunch already, and I just chose to ignore them because they're very simple. And then Zaptic. And I don't think I have the energy to continue reading that description because it's making my eyes hurt. So we're just going to leave this now. One time was enough. Alright, so that's the bottom of the first page of Google for regular Electrode. We still have some other things to do, like... Close that tab. Look at the comments on the original video. Bomberman is a good nickname for Electrode, especially since shiny Electrode, since its color scheme matches that of Bomberman's. I mean, I suppose when I think of Bomberman, personally, I think of white and pink. But I mean, yeah, technically he does have blue on him. But Bomberman, I just like as an idea because that's a better way of doing an explosion-based nickname. IMO. Electrode has no gender, so don't fuck around and be like, well, what about Bomber Woman? You know what? They actually canonically have female Bomberman, but they're not called Bomber Woman. That gender reveal. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as that. I don't care about the rest. And then let's go here to the spreadsheet. Lieutenant Surge uses a Voltorb. Personally, if I'm going to pick a signature Pokemon for Surge, it's easily going to be his Raichu. Minesweeper. It's a flip game, and Heart Gold Similars. Oh, well, hey. I guess, you know what? I don't think I acknowledged that connection. I just saw the word Minesweeper and talked about it and was like, yeah, that's fine. And yeah, it is fine. And here's some canon stuff. And that's about it. I don't really give a damn about anything else. So now we're going to go ahead and look up the Hisuian form and see if the search results change any. We technically clicked on this one here, but not here, even though they're the same. So that's why that one's not purple, if you can see colors. Yet again, we have a Pokedex entry here with the nickname of the Bomb Ball. Oh, that took me a small sec. Who's Wilson? Oh, right, Castaway. Edison, in case you don't feel like doing fucking, what's his name, Tesla, and you want to be slightly more original, but not by much. Oh, wait, there's Tesla. Shit. Whew. Almost had a panic attack there. You guys don't believe it. That's it. Everything else is the fucking same. Except when you type in Hisuian, it gets rid of my video. Oh, wait, I'm down there. I found it. Whew. Almost lost my shit. Anyway, this was mostly just a recap of the original Voltorb Electrode episode, mildly different and updated. If we go over comment suggestions, biodegradable because they use them to make Pokeballs. Would that be a thing? Could a Voltorb die and you recycle its carcass to make a Pokeball? That sounds gruesome, like a fucking fanfic or something. Anyway, the things I have written down are kind of just the things I've already been talking about. Thunderball, Amp, and Short Fuse. And I don't really have anything for, Hisuian Electrode. The closest I've thought about, and admittedly it's probably not the best choice, but I think about the bomb power from Okami because it's kind of firework based, and Electrode being firework based. But the best name I could think of for that is just Okami. And I understand how that could be lost in translation because they're going to instantly think of Amaterasu, and that's pretty much it. But for me, that's just like the closest parallel and the best thing I could think of as far as Hisuian Electrode. But if you have, if you came here looking for Hisuian Electrode nicknames, I guess you could just fuck yourself because the internet doesn't have a damn thing for you. They don't have anything for me either. Don't worry about it. We'll just get fucked together. We'll have a massive orgy. Everyone here on the channel, we're all getting fucked by Google here. Google's taking its big dick out and not wearing a condom or anything. Taking it raw, baby. This is your chance to be better than Google, which isn't that hard, actually. Any ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to what you think are good. Let us know what you'd use and recommend. Show Google that you have the bigger dick. And also, feel free to distinguish the difference between regular Electrode and Hisuian Electrode, because personally, I don't think they're that interchangeable. If you can convince me otherwise, feel free to. There are going to be instances where it would work, but I don't know, just some of them I feel like don't. Short Fuse could still work.